Hello everybody. Today I'm just kind of playing around and I didn't get my resin, or I didn't start to tape or video or whatever till I got my resin mixed up and decided, hey, I want to play around with this for a minute. I've only got a couple minutes. I have somebody coming for an order for bee equipment here shortly. But I've got this roll of cellophane. It's real pretty color changing looking stuff, and what I've done is cut out some centers just big enough kind of stick in the middle of my little snowflakes here, and I want to let these set up. And what I did prior to is I used some UV resin, and it was from Temu, I think. It might have been from Amazon. However, I took some gold and mixed it with some UV resin, and then I took some red glitter and put it in with the two different resins pigments that I used. It was for UV resin. One was the Starry Night Red, and I'm pretty sure I got these from Temu. It was like a set of 5 for $5 or $6, I believe. But there's like a powder in the bottom, and you mix them up, and it's got that reddish tint to it, or it's almost like a pink. And then I mixed this one up. It is a Starry Sky Gold, and that is what is in the center. And then I added just a hint of a little bit of that real fine green glitter. So give it that little bit of an iridescent sparkle in there. I would pick this up and show you. However, I literally just poured fresh resin, and so anyway, this is what we're doing. This is what the little sheet looks like before, and I just crumple it up really, really good. And bear with me, guys. I don't have my tripod up today, or I would put you on the tripod. And just kind of straighten it back out a little bit. And I'm just going to plop that right down into the wet resin. Now, the other project that I'm doing here in a minute, I will show you, is a little Grinch for my grandson. But anyway, so you just kind of try to make sure there's no air bubbles. And what I want to do after this sets, when I get home from work this evening, is it should be set enough to where I can add another layer of resin. And I'm going to mix, and I ordered this one from Amazon, seems like forever ago. It is HXD ZFX. It's on Amazon. It was like a set of 5 colors. It's glow in the dark powder. I'm going to mix some of this up and put that in to my little Grinch mold. He is crazy about the Grinch. And I'm not going to pour it all the way full because that is pretty. It's about an inch deep or so. And I got these pretty colors from Temu. There's no color listing on them, so, you know, but the colors are fairly beautiful. I did these with the resin that I used for another project. Just added like some little paint on the front, and the rest of that is the lighter color pigment powders from Temu and the really fine green glitter. So let's see if I can set this up real quick. Bear with me. Like I said, I've got a gentleman coming shortly to pick up some honeybee supplies. So oops, wrong way. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, put you up here on the tripod for a second. Hopefully it'll stay. Alright, so here's my little Grinch mold. I've already got, I got about 80 mLs of my Let's Resin, the epoxy resin. These are the half-gallon jugs. It has, I believe, 30 to 40 minute work time. and you can demold roughly 8 to 12 hours. Full cure is 24 to 48. So there's the label on that. And so, alright, so what I'm going to do is, let's set this mold right there for a minute. I'm not going to measure this out. You know, I'm just going to kind of pour in, whoops, a good bit. Put my color back up there. Move my UV pigments aside where they belong. Now I'm going to add some glow-in-the-dark powder. And I'm going to use quite a bit of that, because if you don't, it kind of gets lost with everything else. So that's what will be on my next order. Alright, now just going to carefully stir that in. And it shouldn't, I hope, have very many bubbles in there. You can see how nice and green, because, you know, you have to have green for the Grinch. Now this was already mixed up for about 3.5 to 4 minutes. Maybe a little bit more. For me, it's really odd, because sometimes if I mix it less than 3.5, it doesn't work, obviously. And then sometimes if I mix different brands for more than 4 minutes, they don't turn out as well either. They still get bendy and whatnot. Alright. So I hope, you know what, we'll add a little bit more green powder to that, because I want this to pop. I'll probably make a second one of these for his little brother. I don't know yet. But kind of just tap it around a little bit. I find that for me, it seems to work a little better than just kind of going all stir crazy. Alright. So for those who don't know, I can't remember if I said it in my last video, which was my first video for this project YouTube channel. I'm currently a beekeeper, but you can only do so much with that through the summertime, or through the fall, because once it starts getting cold here in West Virginia, there's really not a whole lot you can do other than treat for your mites and get your sugar boards ready if you need them, and check on them every now and then when the weather's right. Alright guys, so here, like I said, there's nothing in there at the moment. I was going to add glitter, but I decided not to. I think that would take away from what I need it for. So we're going to just pour that in. Give it a second to do what resin does. And sometimes I just kind of like to lean it from here and there. For me, it seems to get those bubbles out a little easier. So I just kind of give it a little swirl and let it settle. And yes, for those who are a little more seasoned with resin than I am, I know sometimes that can cause jagged edges and whatnot. However, yeah, maybe I will fill that almost all the way. At the same time, I can do like a top coat or a back coat or something, or just use a piece of sandpaper or a nail file and just kind of take those sharp edges off. So, I know my hand's in the way, I apologize. Alright, yeah, let's just go ahead and get the rest of this resin out of here. And hopefully I will remember to do the update on the snowflakes when we get home from work this evening, depending on what time we get out of there. So, some of my favorite channels that I watch on YouTube are Tea and Art, Pouring Your Heart Out. Oh gosh, there's 5 or 6, maybe 8 of them that I really enjoy that I can't name right off the top of my head. But they're all great crafters. Marva, I think I mentioned her before. She's got an awesome channel. She lives down in Florida somewhere, and I love watching her stuff. She did some the other day with some, I think it was Halloween. I spray alcohol down on my molds, or my mixers. That way the used resin just kind of cleans up almost by itself. Just give a little, with a baby wipe, little rub, and there it is. But anyway, Marvelous Artsy, I believe is hers. And her channel was pretty cool. Then there is Wendy at Toompish, or I believe that's correct. Wendy, I'm sorry if I misquoted that. Anyway, so now we're just going to give it a little bit of a torch, get some of those major air bubbles off the top, and there you go. So I have 4 Christmas stars and my little Grinch for my grandson, and I can't wait to get these finished and show you guys the results. So hopefully I can pop this one out this evening or tomorrow morning, and I will pour the top coats on this. I'm thinking some clear glitter or some, or not clear glitter, clear resin with green glitter, or maybe even clear glitter with like a yellow glow-in-the-dark pigment powder. Endless possibilities. So thanks for joining me. This is Christina, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye.